Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode, we're going to make a breakfast sandwich that may be familiar to you. It is a real crispy bacon egg muffin. So it's crispy bacon and egg on an English muffin. It's absolutely delicious, it's very easy to make, and I know for a fact you're going to like it. So come on, let's cook. So here are the ingredients for our bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin sandwich. You're absolutely going to love this. We have this package of bacon. We're certainly not going to use all of that. We'll use probably about 2 to 3 of the very crispy bacon slices when they're all cooked down. We have 1 egg, 1/3 cup of shredded cheese, and you can use cheese squares if that's what you have. I'm using a Fiesta blend. For some reason, I really love that cheese. I have 3 teaspoons of butter. We're going to use a dash of salt, a dash of black pepper, and there's our English muffin. Now, the trick with the English muffin is lightly toast it. Why? Because if you toast it too much and you go to bite into it, it's really hard. It's just going to be hard to eat. All these other ingredients won't blend in with it. So make your toasting real light with that. Just when it starts to appear browned, that means it's ready for this sandwich. So let me show you how to put it all together. Okay, it's bacon time. So I've had this pan preheating over medium heat. Drop water in it, it balls up, it's ready for the bacon. Now the secret to delicious bacon is, first of all, take the bacon out of your refrigerator for 10 minutes. Let it warm up some. Don't cook it super cold. And then the other one is lay out these single layers of bacon strips. Now I do know some people who will chuck the entire pack of bacon right into the pan. That's the way they like it. That's fine. I like it just a little bit more organized. This bacon's kind of hard to work with. It's kind of thin and long. But the point is, have single layers of bacon, let it start to fry, and then kind of shift it as it fries, add additional pieces of bacon. Make sure to take your tongs and flip the bacon, which I'm going to show you. But the other point for delicious bacon is let the fat accumulate, because that will make crispy bacon. Do not dump that fat into your jar or your can ahead of time, because your bacon won't come out as crispy. The fat actually cooks the bacon. And I used to be the kind of person who would dump that fat off and go, let's keep starting it as if it were new. And then once I started to realize if you leave some of the fat in there, the bacon cooks with it, you end up with a crispy bacon. So I will start the assembly line and we'll get it moving. And I'll be right back. As this crisps up, I'll show you a couple of different steps. Okay, so the bacon is crisping nicely. Just give a little turn. And like I said, this is going to get a lot easier when we build up some of the fat. Now, I know people who will eat bacon this raw. I mean, just about this raw. I'm not one of them. I love crispy bacon. So you just kind of turn it. Use something like this. Use calipers to do it. Tongs. And just keep turning it. And the other thing you want to have handy is a plate with paper towels on it so you can drain the grease off the bacon. So have this all ready as you're cooking the bacon. And as you can see, I have real estate for additional bacon, so let's use it. And it's kind of a conveyor going that way. These pieces will crisp up first, and then we just keep on adding bacon until this entire package is cooked up. And the trick is just to keep it moving. Now, if the bacon gets too smoky or too splattery, you can turn the heat down from medium. Don't go appreciably lower, because you'll start to lose the frying action going on in the pan. But certainly you can lower that heat if it gets too out of hand. And this is pretty much the process. That's what we're going to do to crisp up our bacon. And I'm not going to bore you and show you every bacon minute. I mean, you know, maybe some people do want to see that. But the real secret is keep the single layer and keep it moving. Keep turning it and let that grease build up, and you will end up with some magnificently crispy bacon. The other thing I want to tell you is do not leave the pan. Don't leave the pan with the bacon cooking. There are so many cases where people leave these pans with bacon cooking and they forget about it. And the next thing they have is a delicious kitchen fire. So always keep an eye on the bacon, keep it moving, and honestly, enjoy the ride. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are at the end of our pack of bacon, and look how crispy that is. See, patience, just a little bit of patience, really pays off. This will be absolutely delicious in our recipes. So there we go. So that is the secret to crispy bacon. I think you're really going to like this. So now let's continue on. Okay, so I have a small frying pan preheating over just under medium heat. Now what we want to do is take our egg, crack it into a bowl, and just give it a quick whisking. Now usually I add water to cause the egg mixture to puff up, especially if I'm cooking an omelet. But with this sandwich, we don't want the egg to puff up. So we're just giving it a quick whisking. That's perfect. Now I'll meet you over at the pan. So this pan has preheated over medium heat. There's a teaspoon of butter. Just do a nice coating on the bottom. And then pour the egg mixture in. And then what we want to do is just get the egg mixture to cook, but think of the size of the English muffin. It's round and it's kind of tight. So we're just going to keep kind of corralling the egg in to mimic that shape. I don't have a mold to do this with, so we just keep mimicking it. And you can see the egg is cooking very nicely already, just by doing this. So think of that size of the muffins that you're working with, and just keep working this in. And you can kind of scramble it a little bit. We certainly don't want wet egg on the top and cooked egg on the bottom. So give it a little bit of a scramble. And look at how fast this is happening. But really my main objective is to form the egg into a shape that will fit on those muffins. Keep giving a little scramble. Kind of give it a little flip too. Get that egg that's cooking on the bottom up. Get the wetter egg down to the bottom. And we don't want to brown it. We certainly just want to cook the egg in a nice little disc. But browning the egg is certainly not the point of this. And at this point, as I can see that the egg is cooking through, let's take our cheese and put some of the cheese on top. And this will ensure that the cheese melts. Now don't start flipping it at this point because the cheese will start to burn. Just put it on there, give it a little bit of a melt. And if you want to put a cover on the pan, you certainly can, because that will speed up the melting process. But you can see in about 5 minutes we made a nice base for the egg and cheese. And here's my pan cover. And I'm just going to watch. It's not going to take that long for the cheese to melt down. But the point again is not for the egg to burn. I just want the cheese to melt. Okay, so a minute later, everything is heated up just fine. I'm going to see you over at the cutting board. Now I crisped the 2 muffin halves. You can see it's not overly toasted. because again, you don't want it to fall apart as you crunch down on it. And if it's too crispy, it just won't stay together. So I'm taking our 2 other teaspoons of butter and just spreading them over the muffin. Now I'm taking our egg with the cheese on it, just putting it right on top. And then, my favorite part is here comes the bacon. And add as much of the bacon as you want. I said, maybe up to 3 slices. It's totally up to you. Now, on a real egg, they use Canadian bacon, which is kind of that roundish disc of bacon. And you can buy that. I just really don't like it as much. No offense to the Canadians, I love Canada. Banff is one of my favorite places on the entire planet, up in Alberta, near Calgary. But honestly, I like this better than Canadian bacon. It's totally up to you. If you want the Canadian bacon, just give it a quick fry and drop it on the sandwich, and you'll have the perfect egg So how's that look to you? We just put the top on, and we got a tasty sandwich. So congratulations, look at what you just made. Now, I am so tempted to skip the outro, which some of you might want, and just eat this sandwich, but we're gonna get through this. I mean, look how delicious that looks. This is your basic, fresh Egg English Muffin Sandwich. I think you're gonna love this, especially with the real bacon. Now, if you like this, please check out my website, stepbystepchef.com. There you will find a free printable recipe for this sandwich, along with free recipes and free video links for probably over 150 recipes. I mean, I'm just going and going because I love to cook with you. So you're going to find that there, and it's all yours. The other thing you're going to find is my cookbook, Cooking with the Step-by-Step Chef. This will have a lot of recipes in it. I update it every November, so check it out. It is affordable, it is portable, and it is giftable. So you can give it to all of your friends and relatives, which I hope you will. It helps to pay for this. So my name's Larry Richardson. I am your Step-by-Step Chef, and I'll see you in the next episode.